Hold on, I'm gonna
Oh,
refresh
we
this.
we are live. We are live. So Andrew's going to refresh. Hi guys, this is Thunder E from Board at Work, and welcome to um, the Amazon Fire Phone. Amazon just announced this new phone, and we have with us our site editor, Alex Simonier. Lexi, what's up, man?
Hello, folks. How you doing?
All right, good, good. So Fire Phone is here, and Amazon has announced the phone. So let's give you some of the specs and some of the rundown what we have here for this device. I'm actually going to get an image for you. Amazon just announced the Fire Phone today, and it will be available exclusively on AT&T. And I'm just going to share my screen so you guys can take a look at the image of the Fire Phone. We've been making some very bad Jamaican puns here, so excuse us. So that is the Amazon Fire Phone. It's a 4.7 inch HD display. I believe 1080p, right?
They
Or
didn't tell us about the resolution. They said HD. I believe it's 720 though.
oh, okay. This HD is a, and you can see all those different camera sensors around. Basically, the one right here, if you can see my mouse right there, if you can see my mouse here, cursor, that is the front-facing camera, right? I believe. And then the rest are all for the 3D dynamic perspective. Now on the back, this is powered by a quad-core processor. Didn't say what, but it has an Adreno 330, so I'm believing it's a Qualcomm chipset, which is
It's a
usually
Snapdragon 800.
800. So it's a Snapdragon 800 chipset, and it's got 2 gigs of RAM on this bad boy. It's got a let's see, and then in terms of storage, you can get 16 or 32 gigabytes. Now, if we go over to the Amazon page, scroll here to show you some of the pricing. Instead of me just reading it off. So individual plan is $199. AT&T, the family plan is also still $199.99, and then the unlocked is $649 for the 32 gigabytes. Sorry, and 64 gigabytes is $749. That's how much it will cost. Now, this device here doesn't have any micro SD expansion whatsoever, right?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Let's see. Andrew is trying to chime in back, I think. Is he in here or is he no? Okay, he was in and out. So let's talk a little bit more about the phone. So here are a couple of things here. Now, it's $199, but here is the key factor. See this right here? So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you get a full year of Amazon Prime. So which means this phone literally will only cost you $100 for the phone. Which, like I believe Lex, you actually pointed out that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. You're not going to have a consumer, pay 199 for a phone on contract and then have a whole bunch of services they can't use for more money. So this kind of maybe put your foot in for a full year, and then from there you'll get to know how well their services are and pretty much re-up once it's done.
Yeah, and also if you're a current Amazon Prime user, you get an additional year when you
Yep.
buy it for $199. So as an Amazon Prime user, this is actually pretty cool. This might actually engage a lot of people to jump onto Amazon Prime and also just get the phone because it really covers those aspects. So they talked about a couple of things here. They said dynamic perspective, Firefly technology, Mayday. Mayday, of course, is that service that allows you to hit a button and then call someone, and basically you can get Amazon rep to help you out with your phone or any kind of issues with it. The Firefly technology brings a lot of those Amazon features together. You know, the Firefly browser, Amazon's QR code search, and all that fun stuff by simply pressing that camera button, which you can see right here on the left-hand side of the device. So that gives you the ability to, I believe Andrew's joining us again. Hey, Andrew, what's up, man?
I
We
think
can't
so.
hear you. Oh, we can
Yes.
hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah, we
hello.
got you. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just talking about some of the features here. We talked about how the Fire Phone comes with Amazon Prime for a full year, and the fact that as a current subscriber as Amazon Prime, you get an additional year, or if you never subscribe to it, you actually get a full year. So thoughts on that aspect of the feature on the device?
I think it was a no-brainer for Amazon because if you look at what they've been doing with the Prime memberships, it's all about getting people to sign up for that extra tier. So you're more likely to order something from Amazon if you know that it's going to get there in 2 days and you don't pay for shipping. If you know that if you need it right away, it's only going to cost you like $3 to get it, and then you get the music perks, you get the movie perks. Now you're getting a perk from just buying a phone because even the phone aside, if it was 199, I think it'd be a little hard to compare to some of the devices that are at that price tier. But when you say to someone that you're going to get Amazon Prime and all these advantages at no extra cost, you're essentially only paying $100 for the phone.
For the phone.
So I think that's a big improvement to the value that you get by signing up for this.
Yeah, true. Mind you, it's $100 on contract. Just to make sure that people understand that. The other thing too here though is that if you want to talk about the services, they just announced the Prime Music yesterday, I believe,
Yep.
and then also they announced today that you have unlimited cloud storage for all your photos. So they're really pushing a lot of the services on here, like to say, hey, you have that cloud music, you have the cloud storage for photos, and also the fact that it has that new QRL ability where it can basically search for any item you want directly off your phone and have the ability to purchase directly on Amazon. So you see something, you scan it, you can just buy it right there, pretty much. Which I think is one of the big factors this device really brings to the table for a lot of Amazon users. Mind you, the included full year of Prime is limited time offer, so it might last for a couple of months. It might just be an introductory offer. We have no idea whatsoever. So the next feature they talked about was the dynamic perspective. This is allowed you. It's basically some of the things that you find in the Galaxy S4, Galaxy S5. Tilting the panel so that you can actually navigate menus, swivel, and peaks. But any thoughts on this technology? Because I know they went to a whole great deal, but to me, I didn't seem too enthusiastic about it. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I have two feelings about it. First, I mean, it does add another, like I said, dynamic aspect to the whole way you view your phone. It's ironic. But yeah, no, in that regard, it's nice. But it's my understanding that Amazon has spent years on working this out and putting an enormous amount of funds into this actual feature, and I feel as if it could have gone somewhere else. I mean, having 4 cameras on front of your phone just to have a different perspective on how you look at it when it really doesn't add any other functionality but like maybe small tilting of reading and maybe enhanced gaming experience. To spend all your funds on that really doesn't make sense to me. But with the consumers that are trying to buy this phone, they'll eat it up. I mean, they'll love it. It's like Samsung's features like phones with the whole snap your picture or waving your phone over your camera to swipe against photos. Like, consumers are going to love that. So, I mean, it makes sense from that regard. But I don't like it from my aspect.
Yeah,
how about you?
I'd have to actually see it in person to see just how impressed or bored I am with it. But the impression that I got is that Amazon kind of needed to do something that was unique. Have a reason to have a phone out other than to say, well, it's got all your Amazon stuff on it. That was pretty much the only reason we bought the Kindle Fire was because it was cheap and it had all your Amazon stuff on it. You're not going to buy a phone which you use a lot more often just because it has your Amazon stuff on it. So I think this is kind of cool. The real thing that impressed me was the scrolling. When you're reading something and you can just tilt your phone over slightly and you still use one hand, that's kind of impressive to me. But as far as
Isn't that the
eye-tracking
same
and all
thing that in a sense the Galaxy S5 or S4 does? I mean, maybe not as smooth, but then again, we haven't tried it out yet.
And that's the thing. Like from the hands, I've read a couple of people's hands-on with the device, and they say that it's a lot smoother than any implementation they've seen. Like, I remember Samsung had some navigation things where you can tilt it a certain way, but with those, it was eye tracking.
Yeah.
And the problem is a lot of times was low lighting situations where if it was in a very bright room, the software wouldn't be able to recognize you to begin with. What Amazon has done is doesn't require as much light, and it has all of those sensors. So you would assume that
It's got 5 cameras, right?
Yeah. You would assume it's a little more accurate because it's not relying on just one 2-megapixel camera to follow your eyes. It's following your head movements. It's following heat and all that. So it seems a lot more sophisticated the way Amazon has done it. And it's not too different, but it's different enough and works better. So that's enough for me.
Okay. One thing of note is that they didn't talk about battery life, and they didn't name the size of the battery during the whole event. So that's kind of my thing. Whether you can switch it on or off, we'll see if there's an option for that, which I doubt if you're going to have 4 dedicated hardware cameras on a device, and to see how that lasts throughout the day because it has to sat battery.
Well, the cameras are more, I mean, from the rumors and I think what it is just on the pricing, they're more sensors than cameras. They're probably either a megapixel each, and then you have that 2-megapixel front-facing camera. So using that in combination is what it gives it that full feature range, because
Yeah.
technically it's probably combining it as quote unquote a 5 megapixel camera, or at least 5 megapixels in different points of target, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
I gotta imagine that they let you turn it off just because it has a 2,400 milliamp battery,
Okay.
and it's a smaller screen, 720p. So they're gonna want to have decent battery life out of this, and if they have that running all the time, that'd be a problem. I know with the Firefly button, they said that you can turn that on and off easily because of battery life concerns. So if they didn't put one for that, that would be a huge mistake on their part.
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of Firefly, that's the next piece component there, and that brings in that simple press button for instant action. So you can basically capture things like music, phone numbers, email addresses, music, and so on and so forth. But I want to get your take on this, guys. What do you think about that? Because what I really like the most is actually just the fact that this is an Amazon service phone. So the extension with Firefly, what do you guys think about that technology piece added to it?
I'll let Andrew go this time.
Yeah, I think it's smart because if when I use Shop Savvy, when I use Red Laser, all those, I'm just trying to find out more information on the product or find a way to buy it. With Amazon, I get both from the same place, and more than likely, I'm going to buy it on Amazon anyway. And the way they do it looks to be a lot faster. They do it on the cloud side rather than uploading a whole image and then doing image recognition or comparisons. They do a lot of that on the fly before you upload a full image. So that looks to be a lot smarter way of doing it to me. And if that's the case, I'm more than likely going to be spending a lot more money on Amazon, which is not good because I should really be saving my money right now.
How about
No,
you, Alex?
from a geek standpoint, the tech behind it is pretty badass. I mean, they said over 100 million processes they can take, and the speed in which they showed during the demo, they said it was pretty fast. So just the tech behind it is cool. And if you combine like the business aspect behind it, it's common sense for Amazon to do something like this. I mean, for them to have a way to have anything that you want or look at to automatically go back to them is pretty genius to me. So I mean, we'll see how it works out. But like I said again, the people that are going to buy this phone are going to do those things.
Yeah,
This isn't like a small demographic of people that are like, oh, what a cool feature. And then combining that with Mayday, oh, it's gonna rack in the cash for Amazon if it works well.
and no barcodes.
Yeah,
Finally,
no
no
barcodes.
barcodes. I'm
Yeah.
so sick of scanning barcodes.
Oh no, I definitely agree. I think that implementation is great. On the tech side, to me, it's cool, but it's not a marvel because there are about three people who have servers who can handle that. It's literally Amazon, Microsoft, and probably Google, but Google doesn't do that much with this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I understand that they can do this because they crunch this kind of numbers out easily. So which I do like that they are implementing that. I would like to see it. I would like to just see how it handles, on day to day. You probably just take it out and start scanning people's numbers off of posted ads or something and see if I can.
Yeah.
Um, but you spoke about Mayday. Now Mayday is a feature that I definitely liked over what do you call it again, on the Kindle Fire,
Hmm.
and to bring that to the phone really makes a lot of sense because the phone UI is completely different from every phone UI out there. This is taking some of that Fire UI in there, so it'll be interesting to see how well it handles and how well people can transition. Because remember, we're used to two types of UIs now. To me, Android and iOS UI are the same in terms of simple functionality, and you can navigate both of them the same way. While Windows Phone is now the complete different tile type system, so they're trying to bring in a third or even a fourth UI representation here. So I think Mayday really will help a lot of consumers on that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's an AT&T exclusive makes sense. Their customer service is horrible. So if you add Mayday to their devices, I mean, it might help them as well. So it's a cool feature. I mean, consumers really don't know what they're doing on these devices, especially the higher tiered spec ones. So this will definitely help them in that respect.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to me is that they said that they can do handoffs to AT&T. So your Mayday button is only going to work for device-specific things. You say, "How do I get to this?" If you've got a problem with like a network feature or like messages not routing properly or something like that, they can say, "Well, can you hold on for a second? I'm going to transfer you to AT&T," and they can push you over there. So I think
Wow.
having this completely different UI system, they're definitely going to need to have someone you can talk to because like you mentioned, Android and iOS operate under the same conventions. So when you introduce this, it's gonna throw a lot of people off. I'm I'm someone who uses three different phone systems every day, and even looking at this, I'm saying to myself, why does it go? Why does it operate that way? So I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out.
No, I definitely agree with you guys. And next up is the camera. I was surprised that they didn't pair it up to my usual boys from Nokia, but they did
This
compare
guy.
it to the iPhone
It's
5S.
such a Nokia fanboy.
This guy, man.
Nokia doesn't really bring into the conversation when people talk about phones because
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about phones. I'm talking about phone cameras. But they do. I'm sorry, they do. They do.
No, because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you still have to use a Nokia phone, and most
Yeah.
people don't want to use a Nokia phone.
Yeah, but they are higher than Amazon right now, right? So
Well, yeah, because
if you're gonna no, I'm just saying if you're gonna
You gotta go
compare,
to the competition. You gotta go with the main
yeah,
devices.
yeah,
And,
yeah. I know you got to. It's like saying leaving out LG or even HTC from this, but that's just being me. I'm just saying that I'm surprised that they only limited it to two devices out there. So iPhone 5S should never be in this conversation whatsoever.
Well,
But what do you guys?
to some, it's the
Well, yeah,
best camera on the planet. So
that's
Yeah, I know. To some,
the size. Yeah, the size
yeah.
of the phone. To remember, this is like a smaller. I can't believe we're saying this, but 4.7-inch screen. This is a smaller phone compared to what we see on the market.
Oh yeah,
So they're
true.
going after the iPhone people. They're saying
yeah.
you can get the bigger screen without having to get the Super XL king size phone. So
Yeah, kudos to Amazon for having it 4.7 and keeping it 720p. That kind of saves on battery life. And again, you can't tell the difference because of that fixed
I'm
sensor.
sorry. No, I can. And screw that. I
at
don't agree.
4.7 though,
At 4.7,
I
you
think
can't.
I think you
No,
can
no,
you can
at 4
tell the
point- at 4
difference side by side. But
I can tell. I can tell the
you can
difference on
get
the
to it,
iPhone,
yeah.
which is even smaller and has a tighter knit ratio, and I know that shit is not even HD. So
Yeah,
that's
but
just me.
like, it's if you're side by side, you can tell the difference. I think, but it's not going to matter to you. When I use the Moto X, my complaints are with the color tinting, not the resolution. The
Yeah,
720p
I
was
don't
fine for
use
me
it,
on
but
that.
I don't use the Moto X. That's the problem. I'm just being useless, but let's get back to the camera. So, what do you think about the camera in terms of OIS and all that stuff built in there? At least what they've mentioned, not necessarily what they've shown, because sometimes these images are doctored left and right. So,
Yeah,
Well,
I think.
it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty standard. 13 megapixel. It's probably the Sony sensor that everyone uses. They just got their own image processing on their side. They said it had like 5 element lens or something like that. So I'm sure it's going to be a capable camera, but we won't really know until it's out there.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised at first because I thought this was going to be priced around like $99, but then when they added everything else, it kind of leveled out. But I mean, it looks like a decent camera from the spec sheet, so we'll have to see how it is in day-to-day use, I guess.
no, I like the fact that it's got a dedicated camera button, but it's in the middle of the phone, so I'm not kind
Oh
of happy
yeah.
about that. I don't understand. Well, whatever.
Why would they do that? It's so stupid. If you're taking a picture, you need to have it landscape more than likely. The only reason they put it in the middle is they probably think people are going to do nothing but selfies or something, and that makes
No,
more sense.
the Firefly, I think it's the same button, right?
It's the same button. Just add a third button. It's not going to cost you any more money. I mean, because it's designed to look. It looks like an iPhone with 5 extra cameras in front. Anyway.
Oh my Lord Jesus. Okay.
No, I'm just saying,
No,
design-wise, this phone does not look anywhere fantastic or anything groundbreaking. It looks solid. It looks black. It looks like it got bezels and it's got cameras all around. Am I wrong?
No, it looks from a design aesthetic, it's pretty basic. You
Yeah.
really can't do wrong from a consumer standpoint. I was saying, oh my God, because I'm on the verge and I saw the new Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's hold up. Let's
Yeah.
hold up on that one. Let us hold up on that one, please.
Jesus Christ.
So it's got built-in applications. It's got a host of Android applications. How many Android apps are there now available?
200,000 plus.
240,000.
Okay, all right, 240,000, yeah. So, and you've got that carousel view for enhanced performance.
I hate
just
their
in-
UI.
I'm not a fan of that UI, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. So here's a couple of things that they mentioned in terms of performance here. So I'm just going to read it out. Yeah, it's got a 2.2 gigahertz quad-core 800 Snapdragon 800 processor, 2 gigs of RAM, Adreno 330, LTE, of course, AT&T, supports AC Wi-Fi. And then it says uncompromised battery life on the Fire Phone, up to 285 hours standby and 22 hours talk time, up to 65 hours of audio and 11 hours of video playback.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad, decent.
That's tablet territory.
Yeah. So it's got exceptional audio, Dolby Audio in there. It's got those new ear like iPhone earbuds, right? Pretty much they look like.
Oh yeah, with magnetic
Yeah.
connectors
Yeah, with
and
magnetic
untangled
connectors.
cords. I like
Cords and
that.
stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
little feature.
Yeah, music in the cloud, and so it's got all that stuff in there. My thing is this, and let me head out of here since I've just been scrolling through. Is the question people ask it? Somebody actually asked Machu, and his question would disappeared. But do you think this will sell? Do you think people will buy this phone?
If they have an Amazon Prime account, oh yeah.
I
Without
think
a
I think they're gonna buy it even if they don't have it, because it's gonna be a little tough to explain to consumers why you want Amazon Prime. But if you're in the store and like the salesman shows you this small thing and says you get free music and free apps and all that crap,
Yeah.
that's gonna be something that people go, oh really? And then they're gonna gravitate to it. It's not gonna outsell the Galaxy or the iPhone by any means, but it's gonna sell enough that it's gonna make sense for Amazon to make another one in a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, things like the Mayday feature, like if we show a demo of that, like in store, because less people are going in store to buy devices. I mean, people are going to talk about stuff like that. Like, yeah, I got this phone. I speak to a live person in real time, my language, not their language. So it's like that was how kind of it'll work for that. It'll be a lot of word of the mouth.
I love the fact you said my language, not your language. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just word of mouth is pretty much going to be a big thing for this. And once Amazon promotes the music, because music is pretty big, you got all these pretty big music apps now. If people see the Prime Music and they like the catalog, people are going to go for it just for the music, maybe.
Any thoughts, Andrew? What it would sell?
Yeah, I don't want to give a number, but I think it's definitely going to make units, because the Mayday button alone, I think that's going to be something. I feel so many calls from family members for tech support that if I could just tell them that you tap this button, they're going to be all right.
Well, do you know if the Mayday feature actually helped with the new Kindle Fire?
Yeah, they said. Well, we don't have any way to get it in terms of what Amazon does, because they don't release sales.
Well, we can always check in their financials at the end of the year.
Yeah, but they don't. With the creative accounting, they don't really have to give a number.
Yeah, no, they don't. No, so, but to me, if they don't give a number, that means it doesn't sell well. That's how I look at it.
They've never given a number on.
Everyone's not Apple.
I know the Kindle used to sell like crazy, and I don't remember them ever giving a number on that.
No, I saw the numbers in their financials for those. That's why I said if they don't, companies are like that. All companies are the same. Yeah. If you don't state numbers, it means that you're trying to mask at least the shortcomings of your numbers, so to speak.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's not. I can tell you.
Tablet sales as a whole are going down, so we'll see how it is on the phone with Mayday.
No, but even at the Kindle Fire's height, it wasn't even half of what the iPad was. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to see the same thing here in the phone side. Amazon's not going to outsell pretty much anyone except for LG and HTC. So this is more. I don't even think they care about getting a lot of phone sales. This device is to get a lot of people on Prime, to get a lot of people buying stuff from Amazon.
I definitely agree. Yeah. Which again, to me, still is that they really have to do a good job of selling people on that price, but educating them that price gives you two things.
Yeah.
Because if they don't. Yeah, that's exactly. Because to me, it's not the Mayday feature. To me, Mayday feature I don't even care. I really think a lot of people would like that. But when you tell people they're getting Amazon services with an Amazon phone, I really think that's when people now start going, oh, I can watch this, I can listen to this, I have this, and then when I ship, it's only what?
$199. Oh no, when you ship with Amazon, it's free shipping, and if you need it next day, you pay $2.99 or $3.99.
Exactly. Yeah, so they really have to sell those really hard for people to go, okay, maybe my next phone should be an Amazon phone, and then you can now push in Mayday to teach them how to use that UI completely altogether. So
I'll tell you how to sell this. You tell someone, hey, you get to watch Downton Abbey for free. Boom, right there, they're gonna buy it.
Now here's my thing. I think this might be a catalyst for Let's say after people buy the first version of the phone, let's say they don't want to pay that $100 for the Prime. What if there's like an ad version that's supported on the device where you don't have to pay for the Prime, you get it, but you have ads supported on the device? Knowing Jeff Bezos, that could be a possibility.
That should have been the possibility now. It should have been
Yeah,
$100 with ads now. There should
yeah,
have been an ad version for $100 and then $199 without ads, where you
yeah.
really you now give consumers. I'm just saying that the one thing that I didn't like from this press conference is that I didn't come out going, okay, I don't care about the 3D technology, but man, if I really own the Amazon phone, I'm not gonna go out and buy one, because to me, I look at it as I already have Prime. I'm saying that there's so many segments of people that they want to get on Prime, but you have to convince different types of segments. And it's like, I already have Prime and I order from my phone anyway, so uh, I mean, like, I'm that kind of customer. But even the other customers who are lazier and want to just say, okay, I want the Amazon phone, is how do you convince them excessively or well enough to say, you know what, it's $199 and you get Amazon Prime and you get Amazon services. If you're not using Amazon services, this is why you need to use Amazon services. Because the funny thing is this, is that Netflix has beaten them on using Netflix as a services than they have. That's the sad part. A company that only has one type of service is beating Amazon on the service factor for people to just buy Netflix.
Well, that's the thing. Amazon has always been a low profit margin company. I mean, just because of the way they do things, this might be a way to increase their revenue. I mean, if you do the ad thing, which I agree with you, they should do it now. Get some money just from sales alone. Forget the price of the device. It's a pretty good spec phone. People buying stuff on contract isn't going to make you the money. It's your services that are going to make you the money. So just put ads in them and you'll be fine. I mean, Google, that's what Google does. They don't make any good hardware. They're all software.
Yeah, but I don't think people would go for that, because when they put the ads in the lock screens of the Kindle Fire, a lot of people complained because you didn't get a discount. They were saying maybe if it was a discount, it might mean a little bit different. But I think a lot of people, if you want to go call your sister, you don't want to pick up your phone and have to look at an ad to unlock it. Every time that happens, things like that, you pick up your phone more often, so that's going to piss you off. I don't think that would even make for a good experience to have an ad-supported model.
Huh.
I sort of agree, but I think there are catchier ways to do the ads where it's not
Yeah.
just the whole screen. I think once you pick up your phone, it's always going to be that, and then it could be, I have X-Men on here, right? It could be just a scroll at the bottom for the movie. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing where it's just using contextual stuff of your own things to actually run ads, which everybody does anyway. So let's not pretend here. Instead of them doing a whole big ad that goes, of whatever they're trying to sell off Amazon, so to speak.
Especially with the new, 3D UI that they have, or dynamic perspective, they could do some things with it where it wouldn't be too impeding on the way you do things.
Oh yeah, especially when you tilt or peek, like they say, the
Yeah.
ad, you're peeking into the ad on the right, and then you bring it out if you want to. So that kind of thing where it's not necessarily fully there, but it's at least across the UI in certain places. But they're not doing that now, so it's pointless for us to lament what Amazon may or may not do. But so I mean, just before we wrap up, like, what are your general thoughts? I mean, we talked about it selling or not. Do you like the fact that it's only on AT&T, or do you think that's going to limit it even more?
To be honest, I think other carriers weren't willing to pay that much money for the device. So AT&T was like, listen, we'll give you this upfront cash and we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. It has me wanting it. I'll say that for Amazon after the whole thing. I didn't think I would want the phone, but I am intrigued by how you use the device from a software standpoint, and it has pretty good specs. It's not like a mid-tier phone. So just to see how the UI is from a daily basis, and I don't use Prime services at all, so maybe I can delve myself into that experience to see how well they work.
Yeah, I think as an upstart, it might be a little bit easier for them to focus on one carrier right now. Yeah, it definitely would have appealed to more customers if it was widely available. But AT&T's got 100 million people. This is like a test bed for them. They're gonna find enough people to make this venture worthwhile. Maybe next year it might make a little more sense for them to go to other carriers. But then again, the Fire tablets are available on more than just AT&T, right?
The tablets are available at Best Buy.
Yeah. No,
But
but I mean,
that's
like the 4G LTE version, is it only AT&T that it supports? Because
I think so.
yeah, okay,
I
well,
think
yeah,
so.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
they're obviously very good friends with AT&T. But judging how T-Mobile CEO was ranting on Twitter all morning yesterday about how Amazon needs to get down with them. I'm pretty sure next year somebody will work a deal out.
Yeah, when it's SoftBank USA, right?
Yeah, isn't the T-Mobile announcement today?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
happening in.
that's something different. That's like
It's
network
something
stuff.
different, yeah. It's up to that's on pricing. It's they're going to announce some new pricing structures, and maybe that the fact that they are becoming SoftBank USA. But yeah, I just wanted to rattle off some specs out here for all the spec lovers, so you guys can see that, and enjoy specs. Here they are. So the size of the device is 5.5 by 2.6 by 0.35 dimension-wise. It weighs 5.6 ounces, 160 grams. Processor, again, is 2.2 gigahertz quad-core Snapdragon 800 with the Adreno 330 processor, 2 gigs of RAM. 4.7 HD LCD display, 720p at 315 ppi, and all that contrast ratio and stuff out there. The camera is a 13 megapixel rear-facing camera, sorry. Multi-frame HDR, autofocus, optical image stabilization, f2.0, 5-element wide aperture, and it's got a 2.1 front-facing camera. Now you've got Fire OS 3.5, 32 gigabytes of storage or 64, no micro SD. It's got free cloud storage of all Amazon content, all photos taken with the Fire phone. Battery size is 2400 milliamps, up to 22 hours. Talk time, standby is 285, video is 11. Now video recording is 1080p, 30 frames per second, both front and rear cameras. Dual stereo speakers with Dolby Plus audio processing. Supports screen mirroring and split screen. All the formats it supports there are a multitude of those. It's got dynamic perspective sensors with invisible infrared illumination, gyroscope, accelerometer, magnetometer, barometer, proximity sensor, ambient light sensor. I mean, you can make a bomb with this thing or something. At some point. In terms of the bands, it covers LTE as well as HSPA plus. Covers the AT&T bands and one of the T-Mobile bands, which means you're only gonna get HSPA plus if you can ever unlock this thing for T-Mobile. And then connectivity's got Wi-Fi AC, up to AC, up to 300 megabits, Bluetooth 3.0, NFC enabled. Premium tangle-free headphones with remote control mic, and that's what's in the box. The Fire phone, USB cables, premium headphones, quick start guide, and limited one-time offer for Amazon Prime. So that is pretty much it. Someone's asking when it will come out. I believe July 25th, right?
Yeah, pre-order start today, and it'll be released July 25th.
25th, okay. Let me just see if we have any more questions. We have a comment here from Jimmy Pena. It says AT&T, well, I'm out, especially for $649. It's too expensive for an AT&T phone. Although I got to admit that it's a very good-looking phone. I believe they want to start off like the iPhones just to be exclusive AT&T. Good-looking phone, I would disagree. I think it's just very bland, but I understand the perspective that yes, they do have to, find some partnerships that will help ease the process in for these kind of devices. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrew, from Mobile Burn, for joining us. You can definitely check out Andrew Cam at Mobile Burn, but that is his Twitter handle because we are following the World Cup. And Spain just got kicked out. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, follow Andrew Cam there, and also next up is
Baby Jesus is real.
Mr. Alexa Monnier, site editor at Booredatwork. That is his Twitter handle right there. So follow him. We're all in soccer mode right now. So actually, sorry, I apologize. How dare me? Football mode. So we're on football mode. It's that's it. Booredatwork. My Twitter handle is Booredatwork also, and the channel is Booredatwork on YouTube. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. Any question or thoughts about the Fire phone? And leave it. Just let us know what you think about it. And yeah, enjoy.